Aina, and welcome to Voices of Truth One-on-One with Hawaii's Future, brought to you by the Kiwani Foundation. I'm Kahu Cardwell, and here we are today on the leeward side of Oahu, and I'll tell you this right now, we have a fascinating guest on the show, so let's go on over here and meet her.
Yeah.
Kapua.
Aloha.
Aloha. Kapua Kirkland, did I see your name right?
My name is Kapua Kirkland.
Wonderful, and Kapua, tell us where we are here.
Today we're here at our beautiful campus at Nanakuli High and Intermediate School. We call our students A'ali'i because of the plant A'ali'i that is known to be resilient.
Yes, against the strong winds.
Right,
yes.
and drought.
Yes.
And since our kids, the kids that we work with, are kids that have struggled, and this is a time that we're hoping to regenerate them and get them to a place, so their particular goal with us is to graduate.
So you want to turn them into like a'ali'i plants, where their roots are deep, they're strong, they can withstand all kinds of struggles and problems and survive and grow just like the a'ali'i plant does on the cliffs and whatnot.
Yes.
Wow.
That's why we chose that name. So it has significance to me because I work for another group, and a'ali'i is a plant that we look at continuously.
So there's a lot of symbolism there, yeah?
Yes.
Wow. Kapua, you've been working with the students here at Nanakuli High School with the special program, yes?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So this program was fallow for 3 years. And so myself and my co-teacher talked about it, and we approached and proposed to the principal about bringing this program back. Because it's a program that's been enforced with project-based learning. These are students who are struggling and apparently not coming to school, unable to do traditional work. And so we wanted to do project-based work. And so he accepted our proposal, and here we are. So last year was our first cohort, and now we're into our second cohort, and we're continuing the work of what we started with our first group. Our first group, the big ticket item, it was working on a water resolution.
This is something that they were interested in doing, or you told them, you introduced it to them, or what?
So what happened was we have partners. They're called UH Manoa Seed Program, and it's they're place-based work. So what happened was we asked if we could do some work at Ka'ala. And so they went and talked to Uncle Eric and came back, and so we're in.
At Ka'ala Farm?
Yes, at Ka'ala Farms. And so what happened next was it sort of unfolded because we asked him what he wanted us to do because we want to do service for them, plus educate our students.
So you want to take the students up to Ka'ala Farm, get their feet and hands in the Aina, in the land, and work with agriculture up there.
Right. And so what Uncle Eric wanted us to do was to work on some fish ponds. So to do that, we had to then introduce the kids to where the water comes from.
Gotcha.
So we hiked up, that was our first kuleana, is to go up to the water, up to Kaniwai. And he also wanted us to help him bring down another line of water. And at first, the kids are like, are we slave labor? We carried all these lines up there, but it was part of, to help the water get to the fish ponds as well.
Gotcha.
So anyway, we got through that and got the lines down, and we started working on the fish pond. But as they started realizing, because they thought, is that a traditional way to bring water down? I said, no, usually they have an awai lined with rock, brought all the way from the source of water. So why can't we do that? Why don't we do that? And I said, it'd take 10,000 men to bring all that rock down, and that's a mile up. If we can have a community day every day to even get this to happen. So they're like, yeah, but it's not traditional to use PVC pipe. So he said, no, but for now, let's do what we can. So we started the movement by working with the fish ponds, cleaning.
And this is how you began to get them interested in this project, yes?
Yes. Because the need of the water. And water is life. And as the kids got more interested, and Kellen Smith is one of our PALS partners, and he said, you know, I'm on the Waianae Neighborhood Board. What do you guys think about writing a water resolution?
Really?
And the kids are like, what is that? A water resolution? We had this guy, Alexander Santiago. Alex Santiago, he worked in the House, before, you know, in the building, in the legislature. And he said, so we had him come in to talk about, where do you think things happen in Hawaii? How do things get done? And he drew the Capitol. And he was asking kids, do you know what that is? They were no, I don't know, this building. And he said, this is where things happen. And for that to happen, people, us, your community, need to bring it there and need to fight for it, talk to legislatures to help it get through. So all these little pieces we started bringing in for the kids to see how it's not just about the water, it's about our community and how you make things move in the legislature, because this needs to be a law. It should already be a law, because water, to do our cultural practices of lo'ikalo, that's already in, right? It's public water. Nobody owns the water. But we had to do a resolution to get more support. So that's when the work began.
Wow. Okay, so Kapua, originally, your original plan was to take the students up to Kala Farm, have them get their hands and feet in the aina, in the dirt, grow vegetables and stuff like that. Now, all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're at the legislature trying to get legislation passed. Yeah. Was that in your original plans or not?
It wasn't the original plans, and I think at times you can't plan for things like that.
Yeah.
And that there's a purpose behind what we did and how we got to where we were. So we started working on the resolution and taking it to the community, you know, Waianae Neighborhood Board. Then we took it to the Farmers Union. Then we went back to a panel that was called Vai and Anai for Waianae and took it there. And then at that place, DLNR has Ahamoku people. So Auntie Limana Dimota, we were leaving leaving the place, and she said, hey, wait, before you guys leave, I want to talk to you guys. And so I see them all standing by the door waiting to leave, and so I come over there and they go, Ms. Kirkland, she wants us to take this to the Civic Club convention.
The Hawaiian Civic Club convention.
Right, the Hawaiian Civic Club convention, and that was coming up in Las Vegas at that year, 2017. And so we're like, what? Okay, so what do you mean? What is this about? And so she said, if the civic clubs can support this, then we move on to the legislature. And with that support, because we already went to the neighborhood board, they supported it. We went to that HFUU, and they supported it. They voted, and then the YNNI.
So nobody said no up to now.
Correct.
Everybody said yes, go for it.
So we said, okay. So we did, and what happened was, so Auntie Limana is part of, I believe, the Waianae Hawaiian Civic Club. And then we had some other aunties, Auntie Georgie, Auntie Coelho there from Makaha, Hawaiian Civic Club. But we're in Nanakuli.
Yeah.
The children are in Nanakuli.
Yeah.
And I spoke to Kellen and I said, you know, we have a lot to be proud of to be from Nanakuli. Why don't we take it to the Nani Kapono Hawaiian Civic Club to see if they could help hide that, you know, take that to the
one that's
convention.
out
Yeah, we have Nani Kapono Hawaiian Civic Club, so they would take it to the convention. So we did. We approached Auntie Dolly Naibi, who is the president, still president now, and she was more than willing to help us take it. So in our infancy, right, this is our infancy of learning how to do these things.
Learning as you go.
Yeah, so she took it up, and they rewrote it a little bit. We had some helpers, you know, from Kakuhiheva, the council, Oahu Council, and so we rewrote it because there's some things they said, hey, you know, this or that, and they had a lawyer that was assisting us. So we're like, a lawyer? we have a lawyer now. You know? I mean, it's just one thing after another, and we said,
So
this,
more components come into the
yeah.
picture all along.
So not just the kids working up
Yeah.
there, the fish ponds, bringing water down, helping Uncle Eric with that. Now we have people interested and want to help us move it to another level. And we're thinking, all right, this is something, it feels right. We need to move forward then on it. It doesn't seem like it's a Hanaino, you know, it feels right, it's Puno. So we said, okay. So and Auntie Dolly came and talked to the kids, and she was okay about doing that. So we did some revisions. The convention came and she went. It got to the committee, but it didn't go further than that, so they didn't pass. So she had to come home and tell us what happened. So then we re-geared up. And we said, our supporters said, we'll pay for you guys to go up next year.
To the next Hawaiian Civic Club
Which
convention.
is this year.
Which is this year.
Which we went to.
Okay.
So we're like, someone's gonna pay for us to go up there. And not just us, a couple of the students that was part of the beginnings of it. So we had to start bringing them back in, start going through the resolution again, just bringing it back into where it was before they left and graduated. And so that was their legacy, right? Is the water resolution.
Yep.
And then now they're like, what? We get to speak in committee? What is that committee? And all these questions started happening, but we started our meeting. And then we rewrote again, took it back up, went to committee, and that was, I think, the most exhilarating part was watching how the people who was in that committee had gone through a couple other resolutions, and a lot of it, there was two, I think, about Vai, and Maui,
about
different
water.
places, and so they were supportive. They were ready to move that. People want to support us and the kids, because this walk, it's not just about water. It's about teaching them the process.
Yeah.
Teaching them that you want something, you better fight for it.
Yeah.
Don't just be, you can't be kanalua. You gotta be yes or no. And if you're not sure, and if you don't think you can do this path, I think it was the best learning that they could have.
What was this like for the students? You know, they thought they were just going to go up to Ka'ala Farm to learn a little farming, and all of a sudden they launch off on this big adventure that takes them through the legislature, at the state capitol, 2 Hawaiian Civic Club meetings over 2 years. What is that like for them?
They continue to say, what? What does that mean now? Everything, something would happen or change. They would go, what does that mean, Mrs. Kirkland? What does that mean, Ms. Fisher? What do we have to do now? And then we say, okay, you have to, now there's a split in the road. We're gonna have to decide which way we're gonna go. And you guys gotta think about this. So I see that for 2 of the kids have learned that you have to fight. You have to fight for what you believe in. And you still have a regular life you gotta live, but there's some things that you just cannot give up. And so I think they learned about persistency, and being resilient. Just, okay, so what? We never make them the first time. We get another chance? Okay, let's go. So now we have another chance. This is how behind the a'ali, a'ali kumokani.
This is turning into the a'ali plant.
Right, they're just coming back after being said no, no, and now we have one more cycle coming. It doesn't matter how many cycles you got to go through.
So, Kapua, did they feel overwhelmed at any point in the process?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when they didn't understand. I mean, even us, we couldn't exactly tell them how it was going to work, like when you're in committee. And we had to present, our group presented to, I think there was 40 or 50 of the Civic Club members that came to our presentation, and for them to talk in front of people they don't even know, that was very difficult for them. But I saw some of their best vocalizing, about.
So they stepped up
Yeah.
to the challenge.
And that's what's probably the best thing. They stepped up, and those things is what's helping them now to step up and to know that I committed to something. I have to stick with it. And even if you fall down, like we didn't get it through, we have to stand back up if we believe in it. And so with people telling us they're supporting us, how can we say no? At least that's my opinion.
Yeah, how can you walk away from it?
My opinion is, wait, people want to help, and I don't really know exactly the whole process or what is it that we're missing. And if these people know, then we better say yes. So that's our next step, right? Is this third round of taking it back. So we can't stop. I mean, for us, it's like, if somebody's saying they're gonna help us, we better take it. That'd be foolish of us not to take such an issue as play and let that slip through our fingers.
Kapua, what did the parents of these children say?
So I usually, this one parent, the boy parent, the male parent, constantly calls, checks. They've never seen their child with passion like that. You know, so that's where we get some feedback is from the parents. The other kids, like today I spoke to a parent whose sister is now in our program, and her son was in our program last year with this group. She goes, you know, I saw my son change. And that your program helped him come from here to here now. And she said, that's my expectation now for her daughter, right? And I said, she can do it. I mean, we are here to support them. And I know sometimes they have a hard time communicating that. So if they're not able to do that, then we just need to sit down, you know, and talk to you and the child. But a lot of the students that are with us is because they heard about the program and how supportive we are to them. And of course, we still get a little lip every now and then, and it's like, excuse me. It's not easy. You guys, life is not going to be easy. But you need to know that you're responsible for yourself. Some of you guys are 18.
So the parents are very supportive, yes? Because they saw the big change in their kids, the students.
And so that's why people are wanting to come to our program now, because they heard about that first group. Now this group, they're kind of looking at how this group is going to go.
Which way is this group going to take it?
Right.
Yeah. This year's students are involved. They've kind of like taken over the project, yes?
Yeah, sort of a follow through of doing projects that's connected to water.
Yes. So where are they going to take it?
Okay, so we ended up with our partners. We have 3 projects that they worked on. One project, first project is called groundwater recharge.
Groundwater recharge. Okay.
From Lo'ikalo.
So that's recycling the water, yes?
Right, and that the water does it, and how much of it does it go to the groundwater from a Lo'ikalo.
From the taro patch.
From the taro patches. So that's one group. Second group was bringing hydroelectricity to Ka'ala Farm.
Wow.
Okay, so that would mean this group of kids had to check all the water sources that came to Ka'ala and which of the sources of water, based on data over time, would be the best location for a hydroelectric turbine to be placed on Ka'ala Farm. So that's the second one. The third project was mapping all the Lo'ikalo at Ka'ala.
All the taro patches.
Yeah, because by standard measurement, hand pulling measuring tape, and by GIS.
Kapua, these are 3 big projects now, yes?
Yeah, so
wow.
we took them to Science Fair.
Took the students to Science Fair.
Yeah, so we went to the Leeward District Science Fair this year, first for a lot of them. Second time I took kids, first time we took kids was 2013. So we took them this year. 2 groups won awards from Leeward District. They won Women Geoscience something award, NOAA award, and some geological, I don't know, there's all these different names. And we were surprised because they told us that only one group. So we told the kids, hey, you need to come to the district night. And they came home with 4 envelopes of awards.
4 awards.
Yes.
That's a very big deal.
We told the kids this year, that's your legacy.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That as kids who are struggling are going to science fair.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
That's a very big deal.
You know, and you got the Leeward District, all the schools in the Leeward District, and you make it to state. That's nothing too, like, it's not too shabby.
Very few get to do that.
So, so that's what we did this year. So the state group got to state. They didn't place in anything, but there was 150 of high schoolers and 200 and some. It came up to like 400.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Of the whole state.
Wow.
You know, so I said, and you know, when we asked the kids when we were at the district, at the end of the day, we said, what was the most challenging thing for you today?
Yeah.
You know what was challenging for them? Standing for 3 hours. Who knew, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, is that it? That was the most challenging thing for you, was to stand for 3 hours? He said, yeah, I'm tired of standing. I thought, well, okay, if that's all it was. So the rest of it, people asking you questions, no, that wasn't challenging. We weren't allowed to stay in there with the students. They had to stay in there on their own. We did have a cameraman with them from McCaw Studios. He was helping us out to help document, you know. And he said they did great. They answered the questions. Sometimes they got a little confused, but they didn't give up. And they didn't have us to like come and run to us and ask us. They didn't have us, so they had to. They had to stand. And I think and they knew we were there, you know, in the vicinity doing other things. So I think they felt safe, that we're okay.
But they were standing on their own 2 feet.
They were on their own 2 feet,
Yeah.
as they were tired of standing. That was a struggle.
So what's next for this project, Kapua?
Okay, so what's next is we're actually coming down to where the hydroelectricity. So that's something important for that group, that they bring power to Kaala Farms. There is no power there. And so so I know it was ordered, it's been ordered, and now it's a matter of waiting, time for it to come in. So we're hoping in 4 weeks that that turbine that they ordered comes in. So that's where we're at right now. And our goal is that we can get this installed, at least in working condition, by the end of this next 4 weeks.
Wow. Kapua, what has this journey, this adventure been like for you as the educator, one of the educators behind this, supporting the students and being with them all along the way?
Well, for me, because I come from this community and I'm Hawaiian, this is all Hawaiian homestead. And that our kids, I've always felt, there's stigmatism, and that I feel that my kuleana is to help them out of that, get them out of that, and that you are as good as anybody else. And that with the right support, with you committing, you got to commit too. It can't be a one-way street. I can't be committing all day long and you not doing anything. That's not going to work. We both have to commit. So I can't do it without you. And I hope that what we're doing as educators, you can see that, yeah, I can commit. I have somebody who can support me. And at this age, I think that's what they need. They need to know that they get somebody there to lean on them or help stand them back up.
Support them.
Yeah, support them. So we, as educators in this program, we are not going to give up on them. You know, that's always been my commitment, is I'm not going to give up. If anything happens and they're not, that's because they gave up. But they can't give up. That's the bottom line. They can't give up. And until they're not here with us, they're not going to give up. You can go sit down, you can stand back up. but we got to finish the job. Okay, and even though maybe the expectations are a little high, one of our kids told us, so we asked them, well, how do we know who's going to stand up? And he said, Ms. Kirkland, you give them the challenge and see what they're going to do. And this is one of the students. I said, okay, that was a challenge. We gave them challenges, and now let's see what happens.
They stood up to the challenge.
They did their projects, went to science fair, and now we're hoping that turbine is in place before we leave.
Wow, what an inspiring story. What an inspiring adventure. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep supporting the students. Keep making sure they stand up, Kapua. Thank you for sharing this with us on Voices of Truth. Mahalo to you. You're doing great work. Keep it up. And mahalo to our viewers for joining Kapua and me here at Nanakuli High School. Remember, you can watch us on the web 24/7 on voicesoftruthtv.com, and you can like Voices of Truth One-on-One with Hawaii's Future on Facebook. I'm Mahuke Kahu Cardwell for the Kiwani Foundation, along with Kapua Kirkland here. And until next time, ahuyo!
Ahuyo.
Mahalo for watching Voices of Truth One-on-One with Hawaii's Future. Watch us on the web 24/7 at voicesoftruchtv.com. You'll find all our shows, including this one, in case you want to see it again or share it with family and friends. Also view our weekly video commentaries at freehawaiitv.com. And check out our blog, published daily, at freehawaii.info. It's all part of the Free Hawaii Broadcasting Network.